You've won everything in your time at Chelsea. This is literally the only club trophy you haven't won. How much are you motivated personally to complete the set, and is that how you see it?
I'm really motivated. As I said before, losing that one in 2012, it hurt a lot, and this is the only competition that the club didn't win, not myself. I think to win it for the first time for the club is huge. We have to make everything that we have to put it out on the pitch. I think it has a great meaning for everybody, for the fans. We are representing Europe, and we have to evaluate how difficult it is and all the journey that we have had to make it here. We have to give everything, and hopefully, first tomorrow, and then go step by step, because we know it's gonna be difficult. But when you have one chance like we have in this tournament in this week, we have to make the most of it and hopefully take it.
Just following on from that, if I may, it's often said maybe the European teams don't take this competition quite as seriously as maybe the South Americans, but it is a chance for history, isn't it? Could just maybe you could write your names into sort of Chelsea legend, really, couldn't you, of winning this tournament? Does that inspire that piece of history?
Yeah, of course. As I said before, the Chelsea never won it. We lost the final in 2012, and maybe sometimes in Europe we have a different perception of what the tournament is. But the reality is that it's very difficult to be here. That we are playing against the champions in other continents, and how difficult it is not only to be the champion in your continent, but being here and being the World Cup champion. And that's what we aim for. And of course, we have a huge motivation. Hopefully, we can bring it for the fans as well.
Hi, Cesar. I appreciate you say obviously it being an achievement for the team rather than just a personal achievement. But when you joined Chelsea in 2012, you walked into a dressing room of legendary players, lots of legendary Chelsea players. If someone would have said to you back then you'd have the chance to actually go one step further than a lot of those players and manage to do something they've not done, what do you think you'd have said? And also, can I just ask, I appreciate you don't want to talk about your future here, but if you complete the set, do you think that could come into your thinking about what you do next for the future?
My future is not the most important thing right now. Of course, that my main target is to win the trophy. Then we will see. We'll have time for my future. But in the first question that you mentioned about the legends, I think everyone, we try to create our own history in the history of the club. Through the years, we have seen many world-class players, managers, everybody in the club that tried to help to become to increase the trophy cabinet of this club, and we are part of it. And when the time arrives, you want to make the most of it. And now it's true that we have our own opportunity to create history in the club, to win a trophy that anybody has won it in Chelsea, and hopefully we are the ones that we do it. Thank you.
إبراهيم الفريان، إعلامي من المملكة العربية السعودية. كيف شاهدت الهلال السعودي وهو يلعب عدة مرات في كأس آسيا؟ من تعرف من لاعبيه الدوليين الذين خاضوا في كأس آسيا وكذلك في كأس العالم للأندية؟
Well, HIlal is a very dangerous team. We know that they have a very strong attacking force. That they have players that we played against them, like Pereira or Megala from Oporto, that we played in the Champions League. So they have experience in that team. They are a team that normally they try to create offensive football. We'll have to be defensively solid to try to avoid their offense and then make the most of it. I think the intensity from the Premier League, we have to bring it here from the first minute, make the most of the game, being positive, always trying to create opportunities. And it's a semi-final, and of course we will have to work hard to get into the final.
just going back to the question about in the past, teams from South America maybe taking this more importantly. Have you had to speak to any of the younger players at Chelsea, just stressing the importance of winning whatever trophy you're in, and just talking about this? Because obviously this is not a tournament that's always big on priorities. Is that something you've had to get the message across to the younger players?
Yes, because I think when we are young, we don't realize, or we think that we might have more opportunities, and then with the time, you see how difficult it is to not only to win trophies but also to get into finals, and of course sometimes you can win, sometimes you can lose, but this kind of tournaments is not like a normal cup that you play every year. As of course every competition we enter, we want to win, and this one is a rare one that we didn't play so often in the last 10 years, and I think everybody is very aware how difficult it is, and that we cannot miss the chance.
Hi, Cesar. You've obviously been without Thomas this week. Can you describe what it's like without him, and the impact it has without him on the touchline in training, on the touchline in the game?
Well, of course, we are very disappointed that Thomas cannot be here. It's a situation that we cannot change. That the same as in the FA Cup game, tomorrow he won't be with us here, and we have to be ready for it. Of course, he will be very important in everything in the game, involved in pre-game, during the game. He has a direct connection with his coaching staff, with the dressing room. So, we cannot think farther than this. It's just what it is. We have to adapt. We have the technology now that we can communicate straight away. So hopefully we try to fill the gap, even if it's impossible to fill it. But everybody, we will need to step up, try to do the best for him as well, because it's an opportunity for everybody, and for tomorrow's game he won't be able to be with us.
Hi, Cesar. I don't know if you had the possibility or the chance to see the footage from all the Brazilian fans coming over here, supporting the Brazilian club Palmeiras when they were leaving Brazil. But if you didn't see that, what did your Brazilian friends, Thiago Silva, Jorginho, what did they tell you about how huge is this moment for them, for Brazil, and possibly for other clubs over here?
Well, yeah, we could see the images. Tomorrow's opponent is not Palmeiras, so we have to go step by step. But we saw what it meant for the people in Brazil. We had experience in Japan when we played in 2012 against Corinthians. It's how they live, and football is huge, and I mean that we didn't have fans when we left the airport. It means that for us it's not a very important tournament, which is a huge opportunity for everybody at the club, for our fans, for us at the club. So we'll do everything we can to get the trophy back to London.
Hi, Cesar. Kepa, when he came, he had a really tough time. It must be difficult for him as the most expensive goalkeeper in the world to be on the bench. We've seen over the past month or so, and really since Thomas came in, how much he seems to have improved. His confidence seems to have risen. I just want a sort of an inside perspective on that, someone who works obviously so close with him, as to the sort of fortitude that takes to come back the way he has.
Well, it's true that the first year, I think he played really well. It's not easy to become the most expensive goalkeeper. Then he went through tough moments. Since Thomas arrived, he gave him the confidence. He gave him games. He started to be really important for the team. I think the attitude that he has had has been amazing towards Edu, towards Marcus, Hilario, the goalkeeping coach. We have a fantastic group of goalkeepers that we have seen how important they are for the team. Whoever plays a huge part, and we are very lucky to have two goalkeepers like Edu, now champions of Africa, which is amazing for him and his country, and to have Kepa here with us as well. So now, I see only the work that Kepa has been doing in every training session. Even if he knew he was not playing, he has been always ready for the team. And as I said, we have to enjoy how the situation is with our keepers and have the chance to have them with us.
We'll take last one in the room and then a couple online.
Hi, Cesar. You've built such a strong connection with the club, and I'm guessing with London as well, because you've been here so long. If the conditions are right for you, would it be that you can continue to stay at Chelsea rather than finding something else in the summer?
I'm not gonna speak nothing about my future. We are right now one day before the semi-final of the tournament. Of course, I arrived in London 2012. I didn't have kids. My kids, they were born in London. You know how I feel about Chelsea, but I'm not gonna comment nothing in that.
We have a question online from Sky Sports. Jeremy Langdon.
Yes, hi Cesar. Just on the final back in 2012, you had to watch most of it from the bench. But what are your overriding memories of that game, and your feelings at the end, having lost it in such a team full of stars? Really,
it was really hard to take that defeat. I think when you arrive into a final, you want to win it, and maybe with the time you realize how difficult it is to get in there, and maybe the circumstances or the feelings we had around, maybe we felt it different, and that made the difference. We saw how Corinthians prepared the game. Sometimes small details can make the difference, and in that day we were not at our best, and of course that it hurt a lot.
And last question is from TalkSport, Ian Abrams. Ian, the floor is yours.
Hi Cesar, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Not as good as you, but good. That's your new office.
Oh, no, the Premier League is the strongest league in the world, right? So you should be favourites to win both tomorrow and the final, yeah?
He said the Premier League is the strongest league in the world, so are you favourites to win tomorrow and the final? The Premier League is the strongest league in the world, so are we favourites to win both games?
Well, yeah, I mean, let's start by tomorrow. We know that in a tournament like this is really quick. We have a semi-final tomorrow. Of course, if you want to win the trophy, you have to win both semi-final and the final. And coming from the Premier League, we have to try to impose our game. Tomorrow is going to be a tough game, and we will have to show our strengths from the first minute, and let's see, if we are able to do that, because it's not going to be an easy game.
All right, this concludes the press conference. Thank you, Cesar. Thank you everyone for attending.